Well, hello, welcome everybody. Another edition of the UNCW Court Report here on the Seahawk Digital Network. Mike Vaccaro alongside Amy Bambanek talking Seahawk volleyball here. Coach, a tough week for your ladies here, but I'm sure some positives come away from these setbacks. What's your takeaway from the three matches you had this past week?
Yeah. All week long, I felt that our blocking was very strong in all three matches. I felt that we were slowing down a lot of rallies, and where we were actually extending some of the rallies with our defense, and I felt that we served tough all week as well. So I feel like our defense held our opponents to a reasonable hitting percentage. We just offensively weren't able to produce like I know our team can.
Took on another Power 5, and NC State took them to 5 sets. Unfortunately, not the win, but again, you look at what you've done this year. Very challenging non-conference schedule of your losses. 3 of them have been to Power 5 conference teams.
Yeah, the tougher schedule was intended because I felt like we had, even though we have a young team, I wanted them to understand what that pressure is going to feel like really for their careers. And putting on tougher opponents that are still reasonable, they're still within our reach to be competitive and, snatch a few wins here and there. Obviously, it was a huge confidence booster to beat South Carolina as a Power 5 conference, and without even that opportunity of putting those Power 5 teams on our roster, on our schedule, we would never really truly know what we were capable of. And I think that those matches are very important to our team. It's also very important that they are able to take away some things that we still need to work on and maybe some things that we did well in those matches and move on from those. And that should be the focus this week in practice, those things that we didn't do well against those teams this week.
The High Point tournament this past weekend, Anna Moss, Madison Peters, both on the all-tournament team. So some things for those young ladies to build upon as well. What did you see from them?
I thought both of them blocked really well all weekend and really all week. They're 2 players, regardless of the win or the loss, or if they're playing well, I feel like they play pretty steady. They both give it their all in every single point of the match. They're out there trying to fire up their teammates. They're very vocal players. They're very active. Even when the ball isn't set towards them, they're trying to better the ball in every situation. So I felt that they were definitely very deserving of all-tournament team this weekend.
All right, back home this week in Trask Coliseum, hosting another tournament. It'll be Morgan State, Liberty, Western Michigan as well. Your expectations, what do you want to see from your ladies here this weekend?
We just have to play side-out volleyball a little bit better. We really have to figure out ways to get out of rotations. If it's a tough server or certain people not putting the ball away, we've got to be more effective in siding out quicker. Offensively, I think that we have a lot of players that are capable of being go-to players for us, and we want, as an offense, we want to be able to have an even distribution. We want our middles and our right sides and our outsides to really take the same number of swings and also be very high and effective in their kill ratios. So really offense is going to be the driving force of our practice this week, and what I'm really wanting to see is the transfer of what we work on in practice to the result in the matches this weekend in Trask.
And it's the last non-conference matches for you before what's going to be a grueling conference season, as it always is. So is this kind of pivotal for your ladies with that in mind, looking ahead to the conference season?
I think so. Obviously, I think it would help our confidence to go 3-0 this weekend, but we've got some very strong opponents coming into our gym. We're going to be playing in Trask, which I think will be exciting to play on just a bigger stage and a bigger environment, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fans come out and support us this weekend. But overall, we definitely need to see some improvement in our offense, I think, going into our first weekend of conference play.
You mentioned Trask. Going from Hanover to Trask, does that change anything that you guys do out on the court? Anything that you do strategy-wise in a different venue like this? Not
necessarily strategy-wise, but we do have to focus a lot more on serving and passing. The bigger arenas can visually impede maybe how you're tracking the ball on serve receive, so your depth perception is just a little bit different if you're used to playing in one environment and then you go and play in a different type of arena. So it's really the serving and passing, the attacking and the defense, that's all pretty much stays relative in the same, but it's just getting quality reps and getting our players used to the gym. So we'll practice in there a couple times this week before our tournament. All
right. Again, that's Friday and Saturday in Trask Coliseum. Go to uncwsports.com to check out that entire schedule to see when UNCW is playing the other ones as well. Coach, best of luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, for Amy Bambanek, I'm Mike Vaccaro. Thanks for joining us. Another edition of the UNCW Court Report right here on the Seahawk Digital Network.